You only want to say something, and you want to be understood by the other person, but sometimes it is not that easy. That is why you have to learn the 3 basic elements of communication: how works the executor, the action, and the receiver, and that is what you are going to see here. You are going to have 1. A grammar rule, to know how to say your things. 2. A text, to improve your pronunciation. 3. An exercise, to consolidate your knowledge. You will learn how to speak and listen to English and French. You will have free videos of English and French, and how to settle, especially in Canada. That is why it's very important to click on the bell icon to receive the latest videos. Do you want to get rid of your language concerns? Here you improve your 4 skills: listening, reading, writing, and speaking to get a higher score on international tests in order to improve your career abilities and to immigrate to Canada or to any other English or French-speaking country. Pay close attention to this video to find out how. In exchange, you help us by clicking on the bell icon and on the subscribe button and on the like button to spread the name of Canada Smart Mind. Now, here we go. 1. Grammar rule.
Determiners, determiner, noun. A word like the, and, this or some that comes at the beginning of a noun phrase. These pages explain the grammar and usage of determiners with example sentences. What is a determiner? Main determiners. These are the main determiners. There can be only one main determiner in a noun phrase: articles, a and, the. Demonstrative determiners: this, that, these, those. Possessive determiners: my, your, his, her, its, our, their. Predeterminers and post-determiners. Predeterminers come before main determiners and post-determiners come after main determiners. Quantifiers: all, every, most, many, much, some, few, little, any, no. Numbers: cardinal and ordinal numbers, double, twice, 3 times. Interrogative determiners: whose, what, which.
Now, here is the grammar rule that you can use while you are talking. Remember, you got to have the grammar rules, the pronunciation, and the vocabulary to sustain your conversation. I wish I could say some nice words and cool you down, but here's the thing: you have to go deep into your practice to develop your skills. We post here the basics of grammar, pronunciation, and vocabulary. So hit the subscribe button and bell icon in order to receive the other videos and increase your ability to speak. Also, contact us to see how easy and cheap it is to enroll in our teaching program, where you can have videos, exercises, and books to support your work and to increase your performance. And share this video with your friends and help them out too. Text.
Vietnam's largest city, Ho Chi Minh City, issued new COVID-19 restrictions Monday, one day ahead of a visit to the country by United States Vice President Kamala Harris. The city is currently facing its worst outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic. The new restrictions include an order for people living in high-risk areas to stay at home. The measures will remain in effect for at least 2 weeks. Police and army troops have deployed around Ho Chi Minh City to enforce the stay-at-home order or lockdown and to help get food and supplies to the people. Vietnam's health ministry reported 737 virus-related deaths on Sunday, the country's highest single-day total. That raised the total number of deaths to 8,277 since the pandemic began. In the north, Vietnam's capital, Hanoi, is also under a lockdown order. Hanoi is where Vice President Harris will spend her time in the country. She is set to arrive on Tuesday for a 3-day visit. During her stay, Harris is expected to meet with Vietnamese leaders, including Prime Minister Pham Minh Chinh. State-run media reported her talks will center on Southeast Asia security issues, economic cooperation, and the COVID-19 situation. Harris also plans to attend the opening in Hanoi of an office of the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC. The office is meant to be a center for dealing with infectious disease issues across Southeast Asia. Vietnam had been praised for keeping its COVID-19 cases largely under control through most of the pandemic. But the fast spread in recent months of the Delta variant of the coronavirus has caused the country's worst outbreak by far. More than half of the country's 98 million people are currently under lockdown orders. It is hoped the new severe restrictions in Ho Chi Minh City will reduce the infection rate among its 10 million people and ease pressure on overloaded hospitals. Harris is expected to discuss how U.S. assistance programs can help Vietnam deal with the health crisis. So far, the U.S. has been the country's largest donor of vaccines, sending 5 million doses of Moderna's shot. Separately, Vietnam has signed agreements with American vaccine makers Moderna and Pfizer to secure at least 80 million vaccine doses. Vietnam aims to vaccinate 70% of its population with at least one shot by the first quarter of next year. During a visit by U.S. Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin last month, the U.S. announced plans to donate 77 low-temperature freezers to help Vietnam store and give out vaccines. The U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, says the United States has promised to provide more than $20 million in virus-related assistance to Vietnam. I'm Brian
Remember
Lynn.
to go to the description and check the links for Canadian companies searching for employees outside of Canada. Also, you will have a link for our contact in the description. Since you only can count on yourself, make your inscription and hit the like and the bell icons to receive our latest videos. 3. Exercise.
Words in this story: vocabulary, outbreak, a sudden start or increase in disease, variant, something that is different in some way from others of the same kind, dose, the amount of a medication, to be taken at one time.
Tell us your questions and pretty soon, you will see what we have to say. Leave your comments about this video, and we will know what you like and what we can do to better help you. I'll see you at the next one. Bye for now.